SPLAT is a radial launcher for Windows. Press a shortcut and this circular menu pops up, letting you open apps, folders, links, and so much more anywhere. So let's try it out. Radial launchers have a circular UI, which basically allow you to access anything you want with minimal mouse movement. So it's quick, fast, and efficient. I've mostly seen radial launchers on macOS and Linux, but this one is actually made for Windows. Okay, so it's 7 megabyte, pretty lightweight. Let's open it up. And here we are. Oh, okay, can we full screen? Yes, we can. We can have 18 customizable shortcut slots. So let's first of all look at the shortcut. Okay, so if we click it, I'm sure we'll have to press the blue keys to get the shortcut up. Okay, I'll do Alt and then space. Find the shortcut to a mouse button. I do have mouse buttons, but it's not working for me for some reason. Launch at startup, I will enable. Okay, we must first click apply to update the shortcut. If we go onto our desktop, I can't minimize this. All right, let's press Alt space and yeah, it does work. Say for example, I want to open up MS Paint. If we hover over it, it'll also tell us what we're about to open. And yeah, that feels so good. Calculator, Notepad. Let's get to customizing this. First of all, let's just delete all of these except YouTube because I watch a lot of YouTube. Now, if we just click on a shortcut, first of all, it gives us an option of either putting an icon, text, or image. I'm going to choose icon because I want them to all basically have the same feel about it. The crazy part is we can launch apps, folders, URLs, shell commands, even copy text, which is absolutely insane. First of all, I'm going to put YouTube Analytics because I do use that a lot. So all I do is hit URL and that's it. I'm sure for the URL, it uses your default browser, whatever that's set to. So shown on hover, let's go YT Studio, red, and then icon. Let's go for this to basically just match it up. Let's test it. Yeah, that opens up YouTube, boing. And that opens up Studio. That is pretty darn cool. We can even open up folders or commands. I'm not that into commands, so I won't put this. Oh, wow. We can even open up settings, network. But for me, I don't really use commands that much. Let's actually put a clipboard. There's a question mark here. There's even variables. Date and time have to be probably the most useful. So let's try that out. Let me just copy the date, put it in here. Now let me just change the icon to a calendar. Change it to blue. Save. Let's also just put copy date as the label. Nice. And hit save. And now let's try it. All right, we've clicked it. If we paste it, it will literally copy today's date. That is pretty useful. I will definitely be using that. Now, another thing this app is pretty useful for is if you want a clean desktop. So say for example, I've got all these apps and one folder here, which just looks unclean and ugly. Like, look at that. I don't want these here. So all I can do is just put them all in here. So I can just Alt space, then they will appear instead of always being on the desktop, which looks pretty darn bad. So let's do that. I'm going to put my YouTube folder, which I use quite often. So all I do is folder. Now what I'm going to first do is put my YouTube folder in documents. So just drag it into documents. Once there, I just click it, copy its path, YouTube folder, and then choose icon. We can also do system. Let's go for, I wish we had a color picker instead of just these colors. Let's just go for a gray background and test it out. Yep, it opens it up pretty fast. So all we basically do is just shift right click, copy as path, paste that. And now when we click that, it launches OBS. All right. I will remove Google and File Explorer from my taskbar as well. So I'll be controlling every single app through this radial launcher, which is gonna look super clean. And obviously we can also put in an image. So let's actually do that for Google Chrome. So all we do is just get a Google Chrome icon, save, go over to here, select the image. Okay, it's not working. That's a bit weird. No, images don't work. They just show up like that. Yep, I'm trying it with every single image I have and it's just not working. I hope they do fix that, but it's fine. I can just do an icon, I suppose. Yeah, if we just right click, it won't give us the option to copy as path. We need to shift and right click. World Wide Web will go for that. And then do that, save. Now when we press Alt space, Chrome does indeed open. Perfect. We can get rid of that as well. And now look at how beautiful all of this is. And then I can just access my folder, go on OBS, go on Chrome, or just go to YouTube or YouTube Studio directly. Pretty cool. And you don't have to open it on the desktop. You can open it on your browser, editing software, in a game, messaging platform, basically anything to quickly just get whatever you need from these 18 apps rather than having to hit the Windows key or going all the way to your desktop to retrieve that specific software. You can do a lot with this. Maybe if you play a lot of games, you can just have all your games here, or if you listen to music, all your music here as well. So you can do a lot. If we go into the settings, we can also export as .splat file, and we can also then import. So that's pretty neat as well. And shout out to Kifs who made this beautiful piece of software.